So, Fred.
Yes, Will.
I have been wanting to shout about this one particular game for bloody ages, and I figured who better to show it to, and by your extension, the rest of the world, than your good self.
Cool.
And as a pun that I believe I'm stealing from Kerry, Will and Fred's Excellent Adventures needs to begin. It needs to start somewhere.
Yes.
So let me take you on a journey. Did you see what I did there?
You will be showing me a game that you have mentioned, but I have never seen before and never reviewed or heard of before.
Yes, and I would like to convince you and, you know, the greater world that it is worth their time and their hard-earned cash. This, my good friend, is Bamboo EP.
Shock Bob.
That was a nice segue, though. I'll have to give you that.
Well, thank you. I have my moments. So, we're going to jump straight in.
Cool.
So,
and to fill the audience in, where can they find this game?
Steam! So, if during the course of this you feel the need, you are convinced, then hop on over to Steam. The link will probably be in the doobly-doo. Right. So, Bamboo EP is, for all intents and purposes, a collection of little mini-games made by a two-person student team, so far as I know. And at first glance, it's a very pretty pixel game. I won't spoil anything too much, but there's actually there's two hidden games. If I can just grab this fish. Wait, get here. There are two hidden games within this area.
Okay, and I noticed that it says press A, so I assume this is the sort of game where you'd want a controller?
Oh yes, I'm very much rocking the old classic 360 wired pad, which is my best friend.
Okay, that's something relevant for people who are Steam players, because some people just play on their PC and don't have gaming peripherals.
That's a very good point. It is entirely possible to play this with a keyboard, though much like playing fighting games with a keyboard, it'd cane the back of your hands, so I wouldn't recommend it.
Okay.
So there's two main mini-games in this, and calling them mini-games is disservice. So here's Bamboo Ball, so I'll just show you a little bit of this. And we'll go to a nice quick a winter game. Oh, I meant to choose summer. Bugger.
Okay,
right.
so this Bamboo Ball has different maps, is it? Or is it just different backgrounds?
3 different maps, and it's a kind of it's a dodgeball 2-player game.
Okay, and you're playing against the AI right now?
Yes, because trying to show this to you and play against you felt like shenanigans.
Right.
I'm also getting wrecked for the first time in a very long time.
Although a few people have suggested that would be exactly appropriate for the next Will vs. Fred.
Oh, yay! You're still riding high on your Blood Bowl fucking victory, you bastard. But anyway, this isn't about Blood Bowl. This is about Bamboo. So,
okay.
I mean, this is pretty simple. It's a lot of fun. This is by the same team that made the random duck sports game that was going around last year. You know, where you could control different ducks and run around a park and play like football or soccer or what have you.
Okay, so I'm looking at this right now, and it's a little bit opaque to me in the sense of the scoring condition is a little bit unclear. Is it just get things between the little gaps between the little okay.
It is a case that they have 4 shoots of bamboo and I have 4 shoots of bamboo, and whoever knocks down their opponent's ones first wins.
Okay.
And I am trying to crush their last.
So hitting the same piece of bamboo multiple times will not be helpful. You actually have to hit different pieces.
Yes. And so yeah, it's a fun but, you know, pretty simplistic dodgeball game.
Right. Except you're not actually dodging. You are actually dodging in front of the bamboo to block.
I am. But that, to me, feels like a lovely addition. What this game is all about is Bamboo Heart. So, Fred, what we are talking here is oh, God, that's very loud. Bear with me just a second.
So were there any ways in that last mini-game for people to speed up or dive or anything like that? Or were you constrained by your just normal movement speed?
It was jumping and throws throughout, but...
Okay.
Sorry, and definitely back. So, this is really the one that I wanted to show you. This is the reason why I keep coming back to this game. I'll choose my favourite, which is the Black Boar. And this is basically Animals of Farthing Wood meets Ninja Scrolls.
Sure.
We are talking the twitch controls of like Samurai Gun or that kind of like precise control like Nidhogg.
Right.
But in a kind of side-scrolling ninja slash 'em up where I'm literally going to murder animals and eat their hearts. But what I thought I would do first, apart from killing this guy... God darn it, why won't you die? There we go. So I'm just going to steal his sword. Let's cook up...
okay, is there an impact of, like, are the different weapons different properties?
They are. So they are tiered. So you start off with just the very basics. And from there, you know, you can find weapons that are... Well, so there's my basic, which is...
Right.
Nothing special. This green one gives me haste, which is the speed at which I dash forward, like a mad ninja. Which is very handy when killing pigeons. Health is recovered by filling your stomach. So you collect mushrooms and dead birds, cook them, and then consume them for health. But don't quite have enough. Wow, I am swimming in pigeons right now.
So is this more of a roguelike in terms of you just get as far as you can, or...
The premise is simple. Your heart has been stolen, and you must murder as much to try and reclaim it as possible. Eventually facing your old bird ninja master... monkey ninja master. Oh, that sword's not very good. And I'm getting crushed on this run. It seems I'm not very good at talking and chatting.
Well, it's always harder to play and commentate coherently at the same time.
Indeed. And the one thing that it's really hard to show from video content is that the slash speed and the angles that's how you take people out. So, not right now! I am trying to make a point to Fred here!
This is actually very elaborate for a game of for a game that is sold as a bunch of minigames.
Exactly, it's really done a disservice. He says, getting mercilessly slaughtered. Right, I'm going to do this my way.
Is that your kill count?
That's how many I've killed in a previous run in one run. On this one, I only managed to kill 6, but I've managed to go up to over 100.
Right.
Right.
What is high potential supposed to mean?
It means that they have the capacity to become more.
Oh, interesting.
But anyway, let's eat a fuckload of mushrooms and see some crazy stuff so I can show you how deep the rabbit hole goes. I just need loads of mushrooms now.
And are the spawns randomized between runs?
They are. So which bosses appear in what order will change, but they'll usually appear every 5 kills or every 10 kills. Oh, come on!
Wow, and this one came on like 1 or 0 kills.
But this guy's got the dash strike, which I need.
Oh, you can acquire techniques by killing them.
And then eating their heart, yet I don't seem to be able to kill a bloody thing tonight. Alright, let's go with high potential, which is the starting character. Right. What I keep trying to say is that it's very much a game of dash and draw, of kind of trying to wait for the perfect moment. So if you just...
I noticed too that this character only has 2 hearts, whereas the one you had 3.
But they're much quicker off the bat, so I don't need to worry about getting the upgrades to do so. So by quickly tapping forward, you get that little haste dash, and combining that with a strike allows you to slash in a particular direction, and that's where the kind of the dueling combat comes from.
As a fighting game guy and a beat 'em up guy, are there frames of invulnerability when you dash?
Only with the hyper dash.
So there's a skill that you can acquire, or a character that has hyper dash?
The one that was wrecking my day every day has the hyper dash.
So you acquire it by beating him?
Yes, and then eating his heart, because that's how farm animals like to do battle. I don't know, Fred.
Well, I mean, it's just like being a Highlander. You steal it quickly.
Yeah. So I might get utterly crushed here, but I'm going to try and do this. So,
well, it's entertaining for us. That's all that matters, right? Why? Oh, your character's hallucinating because of the mushrooms.
Yeah, except for now I will fight my negative self, which I don't think I can beat with only 1 heart.
And what benefit is there to beating your negative self?
The demonic sword of... God damn it! The demonic sword of God damn it.
This is a lot deeper than you would expect as part of an indie title that is packaged as a minigame thing.
Yeah, dude. And what's been really surprising me is, you know, it's part of my job. I keep an eye on things on Steam Spy, right? And this game hasn't even sold 1,000 copies. And I'm just like, what? This is phenomenal. And when God damn it. And when
how precise are the controls? Is it responsive?
It's very responsive, and the angle at which you dash and slash is really what determines who gets the hit in. If you can get past someone, you can slash them in the back, and that's very powerful. But let me just see if I can. Okay, I might be able to do this with 2 hearts, because if I can slay my negative self, then I get the ultimate sword. Come on.
And I take it that sword makes everything else a lot easier?
Yeah, dude. Nope, I just get crushed again. I was smash drunk at GDC, raving to people about how good this game was, and I managed to beat my negative self on a run there. And can I do it? What I'm trying to show you? Can I bollocks?
Obviously, just like how a master of Drunken Fist Kung Fu is better when inebriated, you might play this better when you are not at your best cognitive level.
That could possibly be a truism, my good friend Fred. See, now I'm just slashing through with impunity.
Yes, with your sample size of 1. Oh wow, you killed my brother, prepare to die? Is that what I just read, more or less? Oh wow, 1, that was nice.
Thank you. See, I'm getting into my rhythm now. Got the hover step.
And what's this weapon's properties? Because it didn't say offhand what the weapon was different, how the weapon was different from the previous ones you've had?
So that's what's really interesting, is that if your weapon is identical or similar, it says no change, so you can just kind of go for the... Oh, crud, I shouldn't have had my sword out there. That's how people get themselves killed. The other little mechanic is drawing your sword and then pressing down to manually sheath it. And so you can do the quick draws from there. Leaving your sword out leaves you vulnerable. So it doesn't encourage button mashing or back mushing if you are so inclined.
Interesting. But are there reasons at all to keep your sword out by default?
I think only the demonic sword, and that's for... Oh, fuck. And that's for healing from bloodletting.
Right.
Oh my god. Fred, what am I doing? I'm going to get myself killed.
I don't know.
I'm going to stop, have a delicious mushroom and pigeon stew, and contemplate my life choices like a good ninja.
Will cooking the mushroom cause it to not be psychotropic?
And will increase its healing ability.
Right, so if you don't feel like fighting your negative self, you can just cook the mushroom.
Yeah. But where's the fun in that? He says, slaying through. Oh, so this is the guy who's been wrecking us so far, not counting my negative self. God darn it! Oh, that was...
You got him this time, didn't you?
I did. And now I can do the dash draw, a super quick slashing attack, allowing me to slice and dice. Oh, so now, I tell you what, if I just eat the raw chicken, which is... There we go. I should be able...
Can you change the order you eat food in, or is it...
Sadly, no, that's locked in.
Okay.
Alright, Fred, I'm going to do it for you this time, man. Taking it down!
You are coming with a buff this time, so maybe you'll pull it off.
Yeah!
Nice.
Look at that blade. Range.
So basically the sword is better in every way.
In every way. And as I bleed my victims, I fill my stomach like a chunky vampire. Dinner's ready. So yeah, you can see why it shocked me that this game hadn't been seen more. And yeah, so we were at the that party at GDC, and I'm like 3 sheets to the wind and just raving to people, being like, how do you not know this? You know, when you see,
I take
like,
it that there hasn't been much of a marketing blitz for this game, has there?
I guess when you're 2 students making a kind of a mini-game collection, you don't really get a marketing push unless...
Exactly, right? Do you know where they study?
I don't, actually. I should probably find that out before I leap online. But I'll put some links and whatnot to Sock Pop, or I'll ask Dan very nicely to put some links to Sock Pop. And I think I've been playing this mode for about 5 hours, which for, what did we say it was, like $6 Canadian?
Have you made it to the ending of Meteor Strike? Show me.
Oh, there we go. That's the Meteor Strike.
Okay. Have you made it to the end of this game?
So I've cleared my sensei the first time round, and I think there might be a second, like, greater master to defeat.
Right, a new game plus, more or less.
You do it in one sit and run, so...
Okay. Is there any way to save your progress?
No, so it entirely has that roguelike element of you either do it in one run or you start over, which is
How long was that one run time-wise?
Oh... Well, bearing in mind that I was kind of farming kills for the 100 kills achievement, so that probably took me, 20, 30 minutes?
Okay, so let's assume a full run is double that, which actually I think is not going to be the case, because doing an hour-long Iron Man requirement is not, necessarily what anyone is looking for.
True.
Or it might be, but, I wouldn't assume that. So it would be an hour or less for a full run. There seems to be quite a few unlockable skills. Is there a glossary or index so you can find out what potential there is in the game?
Sadly, no. And as someone who currently has every achievement in this game, including the catching the dodgeball ball... Oh, no! Oh, I got cocky. That's the first rule of, like, Dark Souls, Bloodborne, and now this. Just don't get cocky.
And you can't save, so that... No. I mean, that is the appeal of a roguelike game, right? If that element bothers people, they shouldn't pick it up, and if they are okay with it, they should. Entirely. And the point I was trying to make before I got myself ridiculously broken is I have no idea who this character is. I have unlocked... Oh, and you don't know how the character is unlocked either. Yeah. And because there's only 1,000... purchasers, there probably isn't even somewhere you can look up for what it takes to unlock the character. Yeah, if you look on Steam, I think I'm like 30% of all the forum posts being like, come on, how do I get this guy? Interesting. I mean, not to harp on about my work too much, but Rocketworks is really good in the sense that, like, if you take 10 minutes out of your day to just play some video games while you're having a coffee break, like, that's entirely okay. Yeah. So this was my coffee break game for quite a while, and it was so much more than that, which I didn't expect. Has it kind of taken off within the studio? No, but that's more because I haven't given it a good enough rant to other people around. Sure. I made Dan buy it last time I saw him, and I don't know if that makes me the bad guy or not, but... Which Dan? Emmons. Not Emmons, Floyd. Why did I get... They're all Dan to me. We're all Dans now. We're all Dans now. I'm not going to get killed by the duck! Oh. Sorry, the duck is... So that's sort of a different color from yours. It's different properties? Faster, speed buffs. Okay. So... But the hover step is almost useless, except for when trying to get away from other ninjas. Oh, I need to eat. Oh. In a way, it feels like almost reminiscent of a more polished version of late 80s era arcade gameplay, where the game is a little bit unfair and you know it, and that's part of what you're getting when you sign up for it. Mm. And that the core mechanics are not that complex. You know, I hadn't thought of that. There's a lot of power-ups. I hadn't thought about that. So, yeah, start with the golden sword this time. Yeah, it's something I hadn't thought of. It very much has that. What are the properties of the golden sword? It's bullshit OP. But it's not as good as the demon sword or blood sword? Because the demon sword, when you slash people open. So yeah, that's how good the golden sword is. Right. The demon sword literally feeds on the blood of its victims. Sure. So every time you cut someone and they bleed, you get a little bit of food in your belly, which is kind of messed up when you think about it. Sorry, I'm just going to... Not particularly compared to what we accept as normal in video games, so I'm okay with this. You have a point there, Sir Fred. Interesting. So, what are your questions? What are your thoughts? What are your feels, man? I thought your comment on the arcade stuff was really cool. I definitely agree that this game is more interesting than the other mini game. You haven't shown me the 2 hidden ones.
Oh, well, I've got to save something for people at home to find. There's enough of a hint in what I was doing earlier to tell them how to unlock them, so they'll find some stuff. But beware the red-faced moon. The red-faced moon sees all.
It's actually entertaining watching you trying to play and talk at the same time.
I thought you might enjoy that. Desperately tried to show off. But now I'm on a roll. Check that out.
I mean, part of it is the game goes fast enough that I'm not able to pick up all of the nuances just by watching. I mean, some of it I think I would have to be playing it to control it to see how responsive the game feels when I actually play it and control it myself. But it certainly looks very smooth. I like that there is, a very thinly put on story, but you don't expect something like this to have a really deep, multiple cutscene sort of narrative. But there's enough there to be like, okay, there's a motivation for all of this, even though it is not supposed to stand up to like super deep scrutiny. On its own, there might actually be a lot more there that they just haven't had a chance to communicate out. For student work, this is quite good.
This is exceptional, and yeah, we're reaching this point now in the games industry where games are far and wide. Like, we don't have to worry about people being able to get access to them. But that also means that it's possible for great games to go unnoticed. It's possible to make something incredibly exceptional that never gets seen. And I personally feel like this is one of those.
Yeah, we're definitely in an era where there's so much data at people's fingertips, both in the game industry and just data in general, that there's a bit of an overload phenomenon, and it's very difficult to pick out the real gems just because there's so much there and so much stuff that's pretty good.
Yeah, and you can't rely on every game being a sleeper hit or getting that kind of I don't want to invoke its name lightly, but that Undertale level of word of mouth. Yeah.
And I take it that this character is a boss, but there wasn't much dialogue between you and the other character before the fight, which is kind of a contrast.
Actually, I also ran away in fear so that I could go eat my delicious mushroom stew before fighting because I wasn't paying attention, like a special.
Right. Is there a parry command or a block or anything like that, or is it just a matter of your strikes need to beat out the other strikes?
It's timing and angle. So if two strikes go at each other at the same time, they'll ricochet.
Right.
Like that.
Yeah.
But if you can get behind them, or if you can angle your strike better, then it's Control Alt Murder Town. The soundtrack is very it's very in keeping with the style. Sorry, I'm actually having to concentrate now.
Yeah, I understand. And I'm just going to try to keep talking both to entertain the viewers and to distract you.
You are really enjoying that part. I thought Will and Fred's Excellent Adventure was going to be us together, but it seems...
Well, it is, kind of. I'm supporting you in trying to make this as entertaining as possible for everyone. That doesn't necessarily mean you have to do well. Although...
So my victory is not assured for your entertainment.
Well, there'd be no challenge if we knew you'd win. Jeez.
I'm just glad I showed everybody murdering my negative self, because that guy is hard.
Yeah, I should note for the viewer, I can't hear the audio right now, although we may or may not be able to successfully record that, but that's something that I can't comment on right at this instant because I can't hear it.
It's very satisfying, and it's gone for a very kind of simplistic Oh, there's 3 of them. Oh, you know what? Whatever I was about to say about audio design could go screw. Oh! Here we go. This is the first major boss.
Yes. Interesting that you're heartless. Literally.
Yeah, I literally have no heart.
Yeah.
Oh, now he's got my sword. That's not fair. Oh!
If you fight him with the demon blade, does he also have the demon blade?
No. So it's a good way to get an advantage on him.
Right.
Ow! No! Monkey Sensei, why you do this?
Not bad, actually.
Thank you, Fred. So I'm gonna be back to the menu.
Okay.
and float around a little bit whilst talking to you.
Yeah, it almost feels like a shame that the game doesn't use this as the centerpiece, with the other things as presented as mini games that are on the side.
Yes, I entirely agree with you. Also, here's everybody from the Sockpock Collective, which I thought was worth showing. No, I entirely agree with you, and I feel like, just as I felt with Samurai Gun, I feel there's so much more to be had. And, you know, I'm not saying everybody should be doing sequels all day, every day, but there's a lot more here that isn't... You know what I'm saying, dude. Hang on. Wait, hang on. No, I could move the sock. No, we're going back to the credits. No, if I work out how to unlock the last character by moving the sock around, do you know how happy I'm going to be?
I have seen you did, so yes, I have a very good idea of how happy you're going to be.
So yeah, like, Fred, if you would consider giving this your time and your hard-earned cash, I would be sincerely grateful, because I think it's honestly worth it.
Yeah, no. Like, one of the things that I'm going to give the contrasting opinion on, just to kind of spell out one way to think about games and game investments. Please, go for it. We are in an era where it's also very easy, without even considering piracy or any kind of gray market stuff.
Yeah,
it is very easy to stretch your entertainment dollar in the gaming sphere right now. For example,
yeah, I see what you're saying.
You know, the best example is Humble Bundles, right?
Mm-hmm.
Like, Humble Bundles are literally, for the base level, pay what you think they're worth. Although I think there's a minimum of $1 per purchase if you want Steam keys.
Okay.
And oftentimes Humble Bundles have amazing games, right? Like, games that have been played by a lot of people and are generally known and accepted.
We're looking at you, XCOM.
That was part of the Humble Monthly, which went for $12. But even then, like, the Humble Monthlies usually have 5 or 6 or 7 games that are all well regarded and sold as a package. Although I think you only get to know what they are after you purchase them, and you only get the highlight game revealed to you before you make the purchase. Is that right?
Yes. So there's the highlight purchase ahead, and then the rest you find out, like the like Loot Crate and stuff like that. So
yeah. Although even then, just on the strength of whatever is highlighted for a given month, those packages are almost always worthwhile, right?
Yeah.
And so I'm not saying I wouldn't buy this. I'm just pointing out, again, for someone who is trying to be budget conscious, particularly like if you're a parent, for example, right? You can't afford to throw around $60 necessarily on a AAA title.
And dude, considering how much entertainment I've gotten out of this, like, Wait, eat the frickin' bamboo, you big fish bugger.
Keep trying, sir.
I changed my mind. I'm going to show you the red moon.
In a way, this is a mini game too, even though it's not labeled as a mini game.
Well, that's
right.
And like, it was ages before I realised that there were loads of things you could do just in the freaking menu.
Yeah, and I wouldn't be surprised if unlocks are done through this, for example.
Well, there's a whole, like I said, there's one character I don't have. I keep finding more stuff.
Yep.
Who knows?
Yeah, who knows, right? And part of it is everyone's curious, and yet on one level, the design team might be better served by not telling people how much is left out there.
Yeah, when was the last time you felt like you were the first person to discover something in a game? Like, yeah, I really love that. So, Fred, I want to thank you very much for your time, man.
Sure.
I'm going to wrap this up by showing you the true horror of the red-faced sun, and say thank you to everybody who's been watching us waffle on. I'd love to do some more Will and Fred Excellent Adventures if you've got time later, dude.
I think we will, actually. There's all sorts of things you and I want to just ramble on with no... That is pretty horrifying.
Oh, no, dude, you haven't even seen it, so... Yeah.
There's all sorts of stuff you and I want to ramble about, and we may, if we can make our schedules work in spite of the... It's actually 16-hour difference.
Shit.
If we can make that work, I'm sure we'll do more, but hopefully it'll be more frequent than 4 months between episodes of Will vs. Fred.
Hopefully. So on that note, screw you, tiny planet. No, where is it? Ha-ha! All shall fear the red-faced sun!
Did you just unlock a character you didn't already have?
No, I just unlocked Sauron, the red-faced sun.
Oh, and you've already had Sauron?
Yeah.
So it repeats?
There's other things to find, Fred, but you'll not get any more spoilers from me. So, dude, thank you for your time, man.
Okay. See you later, everyone.
Okay, bye.